Hey everybody, TacticAngel here, back on the PlayStation 4, looking at some World of Warships Legends. Today, we're going to be looking at a replay on Ring. This was sent to me by Alobeat. He is going to be in the Tier 4 American Light Cruiser, Omaha. I will go ahead and put his commander up on the screen real quick. I will draw a little extra attention to this third slot choice. It's an ability that I'm told is called Armed and Ready. I don't have a lot of experience using it, but I was surprised to see the indicator on the screen telling him exactly how many people were targeting him, as I did not know that that was even a possibility with Scott, because obviously with American cruisers, a lot of us just go straight to punching through and hope for the best, because of course we have pretty good AP. What Alobeat's going to do throughout this game, I think, is probably show us that there are other ways of playing, which I really appreciate, and of course he's also going to show off exactly why the Omaha remains a lot of people's favorite ship to play at lower tiers, because it is just a joy to play with guns everywhere. Now he is shooting out at an Omaha himself, and he's kind of showing exactly why some people don't like the Omaha, which is essentially it's a giant floating citadel, and almost at whatever range you're going to play at, terrible things can happen to you because, of course, pretty much everything penetrates this ship. Unfortunately, that Omaha does get away, but he's got a lot of other targets that he can take shots at. Here you see we're going up against the Svetlana. Pay no attention to the German localization of how Svetlana is spelled. We're not going to have to worry about that ship because, of course, he's going back to port. And das ist ein guter Anfang. Indeed. Or genau, whatever. So, Phoenix, exactly the same kind of hull situation as you're looking at in an Omaha, and you can see he's punching through the front of that ship just like it wasn't there. The Omaha from earlier is coming back because he hasn't had enough fun yet. And already just a couple of minutes into the game, you see we have 8 citadels, and there goes the other Omaha. Whipping those guns around. 3 more, 4 more citadels, and there goes the Phoenix. And what I like what Alobeat is doing is he was previously occupying some cover that was allowing him to shoot without being shot at, and that's going to be key, particularly with the American light cruisers coming out with the next patch. But he also chooses a pretty good time to push his advantage and actually do some offense. And you can see now he's trying to get into a little bit of cover so that he can shoot at that Kaiser without the Kaiser possibly deleting him, like he's already done to 3 other players. 60,000 damage. Pretty decent game, even at this point, for a Tier 4 cruiser. Now, personally, I'd probably stick around and actually capture this base. I think that's probably the safer call in terms of the long term. For playing for your team, you do want to get that base because, of course, right now his team is basically just giving up 3 points every 3 seconds to the enemy team. Hopefully not for too long. As you can see, there are several ships behind him on his team with pretty much nothing better to do than to advance towards that battleship and hopefully capture the base in the meantime. Now I do like this play because I think Ring is a super fun map, particularly if you can play the inside of it. And Alo is taking advantage of the fact that somebody on the enemy team did set a smoke screen. That was probably designed to help somebody on his team, but right now, or at least at the beginning, it was allowing him to fire on this Arkansas from the cover of stealth. Now you can see the battleship behind him is actually what's spotting him. So the next best thing to do if you're not going to be able to maintain that stealth is to try to limit the ability of the Arkansas to fire back. The Arkansas is going to have to lead him more into the island, where since the Arkansas is coming out from behind the island, Aloe does have a little bit better chance to actually fire on that battleship. And though he is just completely wrecking that island, particularly that corner with all the pretty palm trees, he's doing a really good job in terms of making sure to use the terrain to his advantage. So much so that it looks like the Arkansas has basically completely given up on even the opportunity to fire back. You can see the Emerald behind him trying to dissuade Aloe from continuing to do what he's doing, but not a lot of love on the return hit. It's probably going to be something that Aloe wants to pay a little bit of attention to, because certainly with that Royal Navy AP and considering the angle that he's presenting, it could do a lot of damage to this particular ship. Like I said, pretty much everything's going to go through this hull. Now this is a fantastic idea. Maybe not fantastic insofar as that it's not without risk, but I do like this aggressive play. And again, this is him just pouncing on the enemy, taking advantage of them as the situation presents itself. What we have here is an island that's blocking most of the dangerous part of the approach to coming up on this Arkansas. Really, the Arkansas at this point, if he's considering just where Aloe is, he needs to Notzer. He needs to tactically beach into that island, because in dodging the island, he's going to end up with several other things to dodge here. And I don't think he's going to be able to get out of all of that. Nope. So if it's not obvious based on the context, that mess of letters that you saw on the screen, Vernichte Nichtschlau, is a devastating strike. Very nicely done. Now I'm not sure if he was looking over there to see if he had a legitimate target, or if he needed to be worried. I think probably the latter, because obviously that Emerald has a pretty good shot on the side of this Omaha if he does continue to back up. Actually, he had a pretty good shot at that point. So moving forward, bumps into this boat. I don't know who put that there. And continues to put a lot of shells out on that Wyoming. And really, if you think about it, the entire game, Aloe's putting himself in a situation where he can keep his gun singing. Looking off to his port side, he sees the Dugatron at a very low state. My guess is that this is probably... He's had a great game, and he just wants to make sure to seal that Kraken Unleashed. He does. So now up to 5 kills, we are in A. And he's doing exactly what he needs to do here too, because he's trying to chase down a destroyer. That's pretty much his biggest contribution to the game. Usually as a cruiser, you want to try to make sure, get rid of those destroyers, because they are a big threat to honestly everybody, but definitely your battleships first and foremost. Probably not a bad time to activate a Hydro, just in case. And I know I say this while never actually doing it myself. And with some pretty solid long-range gunnery there, you see he does manage to finish that off. And we managed to actually cap a base in the meantime. That's 6 kills now. And it leaves just the emerald that we've been kind of flirting with several times before. Unfortunately, he does go dark, so the emerald is going to have to start cooperating or sail into somebody else's visual detection range if we're going to see any more action for Alobeats. He does, it looks like. At these ranges, the rather high arcs of American shells can make it a little bit tricky to actually hit anything, particularly if it's dodging and weaving like that emerald is, but it does allow you to shoot over islands, which is also nice. Emerald's doing its darndest to just get out of this situation. Unfortunately, he finds himself an island. Fantastic aim there right at the end, maybe predicting that he might run into the island. And he walks away with the win. As you can see, just a fantastic result. 3,124 base XP on 134,000 damage. That's an excellent game, and honestly with a commander that's a little underleveled, so it's really nice to see somebody doing well with that, and doing well, kind of forging their own path, making different decisions. So thank you, Aloe, for sending this to me. I have left a link down to his YouTube channel if you want to check that out. There's a couple videos there. I hope you guys have enjoyed this little community replay, and I'll see you on the next one.